It's our 48th episode of For the Love of Life podcast. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm happy to have you. Thankful for having you here, tuning in. And today is our guest episode with Marcus Soares, a red belt in jiu-jitsu, meaning he's a grandmaster. He's been at it for over 50 years. He's been a black belt longer than I've been alive. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Having a good old conversation with my coach, Marcus. This podcast is not sponsored or brought to you by anybody. We don't ask for any money. So if you do want to support the podcast, just like it, subscribe it, follow it, share it. Do something. Or do nothing and just enjoy. Either way, thank you for being here for the love of life. Marcus Soares. All right, so we're here. Marcus Soares.
Hello.
So there'll be, I'm sure, plenty of listeners who train jiu-jitsu and are familiar with who you are, but maybe you can give a little bit of an introduction for who you are, a little bit of your history.
Okay, my name is Marcos Vinicius de Macedo Soares. I use in Canada Marcos Soares. Usually people use the first and the last name. And I came to Canada in March 97. So I'm 26 years in Canada, exclusively teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's my job, my 3 gyms, seminars all over the country, other countries too. You know, we have many representatives in Canada. South Africa, we have 2, Port Elizabeth and Durban. In Mexico, Playa del Carmen, and in Holland also. So the team is growing, many black belts now, and that's it. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys today. Let's go talk a little bit about the story, and if Latte have any specific question to ask, you know. So I'm doing Jiu-Jitsu since 1970. Probably most of the guys listening this was not even born when I started to do Jiu-Jitsu, and that's it. I have many stories to talk about today.
What year you got your black belt? I think before I was born. What year
I got my black belt in 81. Yeah. Should have been 4 years before that, you know, in 77, but I was busy with school. I did the first economics, and when I finished economics, I did physical education because I knew I would like to, not specifically jiu-jitsu, but I knew I would like to work with sports. And I think so it would be good to do the physical education university, you know, to learn how to teach properly, how to give the best to my students.
And that was all in Rio?
Yes, in Rio de Janeiro, University Gama Filho. I have the opportunity to teach, you know, to train with the national Brazilian team of judo. And Pedro Gama Filho was my friend, the owner of the university. He used to bring some of the best instructors from Japan to teach judo there. So every year he brings someone different, you know. And I remember this guy was Master Yamamoto. At the time he was 6th degree. This I'm talking about 1975, 76, right? So, and he was amazing judo instructor. One of the guys I saw in the martial arts that impressed me the most. But it was good because I was trained with the Brazilian team. Brazil probably top 3 in the world for judo, you know, so very high level because in São Paulo, we have the biggest colony of Japanese people outside Japan, and judo is very popular over there. And so many members of the Brazilian team come from São Paulo because they have very good instructors and people are involved in the art for a very long time.
You were training judo before jiu-jitsu, or you were already training?
No, 76, right? 75. I started the university economics 1975. So in jiu-jitsu I started in 1970. So in 75 I was a purple belt already. So
you're 17? Or how old were you when you got your purple belt?
No, I was 18, 19 more or less when I got to my purple belt.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you started jiu-jitsu? Because I know you told me like all your
I was 13.
13.
Yeah, and train only with adults, because Carlson Gracie didn't have kids at that time. They have few sons of some people trained there, some adults, right? But they were way smaller than me, and I was a big, 13-year-old. My weight was like too much, was under 160 pounds, 150 something, but I did weightlifting for 2 years and a half before that as a professional. I used to train some days 8 hours in one day, so I was super strong, even stronger than the adults at the Carlson Gracie team at that time, but with zero technique and zero endurance specific for jiu-jitsu. So I suffered for 6 months. I used to tap, but after 6 months I started to figure out how to move better, and I started to balance the train.
What was it like when you were like 13, 14 years old and you started submitting adults?
Wow. Some guys were a little bit shocked, right, for them, but I remember when I was blue belt, I was submitting black belts there, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but it looks like they got a little afraid to teach me the details of the techniques because, maybe they feel embarrassed to lose it to young person, but jiu-jitsu like that, I was like the only one. I saw the blue belts from Carlson Gracie team really good too, sometimes submit some black belts, jiu-jitsu like that, so who pulled the trigger first, gonna survive.
Who introduced you to jiu-jitsu?
Well, my uncle was a friend of Carlson Gracie, my uncle Herman. He was married with the sister of my mom, and I was very connected with her and with him, right? So, because my mom got divorced from my dad when I was very young, and after that she started another relationship, and my grandmother, her sister, didn't have kids at the time, so I spent a lot of time with her. And my uncle, he was not only a genius, his IQ was 106, I don't even know how much, but very high. And he was very active in sports also. He was black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu. And he was a friend at Carlson Gracie. And it's funny because he was the only guy who beat Carlson Gracie in this game called stretch words. The translation is estica a palavra in Portuguese, I don't know if people play, but the game is like that. You put one letter, I put one letter. Who form a word, lose. So you needed to know the dictionary, and Carlson Gracie decorated the dictionary, and he used to beat everybody, but not my uncle. My uncle was the only guy who used to beat him, And they were friends, and he introduced me to Carlson, and when I went there, I feel happy because since I was young, I used to fight a lot with my brother, I was a natural grappler. I'm not the kind of guy punch, kick, knee, strike, right? So my focus was always go to the neck. And I came to jiu-jitsu and I learned how to do the attacks to the neck. I was in heaven, right? So I just learned the skills to do what already was my instincts, right? So go to the neck. It's like Animal Hunting Discovery Channel, they see, put it down, go to the neck, control, and I don't see animals on the bottom win fights, so with humans, usually who is on the top, have the gravity to help you and take care of the business.
Mm-hmm. Did you know Carlson? Did your uncle introduce you to Carlson before jiu-jitsu, or did he?
No. As soon as he introduced me, it was the first day I came to try the class.
Train.
I bought my gear right away.
Yeah.
Well, when I started, we didn't even have bleached geese, right? So was that dirt white, almost yellow, so only have those kind of geese, and only one factory in Brazil, so the other geese came later. Atama, Soares, Dragão, and keep going, And I'm glad that I used to have a Japanese gi, very nice, and I helped the guy from Atama to develop. I brought my Japanese gi to him and I said, your gi is good, but you can improve here and there. Reinforcements of the gi, right? So I gave the gi for him, and now he have one of the best gis on the market, Atama gis, very durable, and the cut, that's what's important in the gi, have a good cut, fit well, They have now for long and skinny people, they have it for wide people, they have all kinds, normal, right? So you can choose and be well dressed when you go to the mats.
Yeah, and they're like extra reinforced so your knees don't.
Exactly, knees, armpits, these parts on the bottom of the gi on the side, right? So sometimes people hold it to pass the bottom part and start to pull, and if you don't have the reinforcement, it's gonna rip, right?
Yeah.
And I remember because I used to rip many gis off the guys there.
That was gonna be my question. I was gonna ask you rip people's gis.
Yeah, so people was not very happy with me. Some people didn't even like to roll with me,
Yeah, it was expensive, probably.
The gi was expensive at that time.
What would you rip? The sleeves? Or the collar? The pants?
Anyway, I don't know. Sometimes the side of the gi on the bottom, but most ones, because I developed this choke that you put one hand deep on the collar and the other one you hold the back of the gi, right? And when you pull, and some people long time ago, they didn't have too much option to wash the gi, right? So blood stains all over, they use bleach. And bleach, what happened? Make the material a little bit weaker, right? So when you pull, it's not the same, strength in the gi, so it's easy, right? So just for you have one idea, I used to, after I drink coconut water, I used to put my 2 fingers, right? And rip it off. So you see that I have a very strong grip. Grip, right?
What?
So
in a
coconut.
An actual coconut.
Right?
Okay.
So you rip a coconut is way harder than you rip the gi, right? So.
Oh my God.
And I always like the choke, how I told you before I start jiu-jitsu. And to have a good choke, you need to have a good grip. And I was a little paranoid with my grip, I used to throw my gi over the bar and hang myself there, to develop my grip. Because the gi is exactly how you hold here when you do the exercise. Because if you get this things that you squeeze, balls, and things that you put more pressure and less pressure, your hands doesn't even close everything, right? So it's not real. You don't hold the gear like that. If you hold the gear like that, your grip is very shitty, right? So you have to close your hands, right? So you have to do the training the same way you're gonna do in the fight, right? So
makes sense.
That's the thing. So people wanna have a good grip, I tell them, throw your gear over the bar and hang it there. When you can stay 5 minutes, your grip gonna be from another planet, like Carlson used to call my grip.
5 minutes.
Yes. 1 minute is very hard, you know.
Like 20 seconds.
5 is super hard, but anyway.
I remember when I first started, you said once you can hold it for 5 minutes, you'll have a strong grip. And I still cannot do it.
Yeah, it's just a joke because maybe
you have to be a maniac.
1% of the population can do that, right? So it's like people fold their bodies to go inside the box. It's not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
You need to have something special, super flexible, right? So your joints gonna give you problems when you get older for sure. People super flexible like that, but it is what it is. We have to do what we can, right? So don't try to do what you don't have the talent.
Right. Like, okay, so you've told me a bunch of stories about when you were a kid and you were just insane in the gym lifting weights at like what, 12, 13?
No, I started lift weights when I was 11.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I started jiu-jitsu 13 and a half.
Is that because someone...
So I was doing weights, right?
Yeah.
For 2 years and a half like a maniac.
Was there any other 11-year-old that you knew that was doing that?
No.
So how did you decide to do that?
And by the studies in the United States, right? So when I used to lift weights, they used to call halterophilismo, bodybuilding, right? So people lift weights, not as, it was very rare people lift weights as a complement for another sport. People do weights was more for bodybuilding, right? So most of the people, right? In the United States, or if you were Olympic lifter too, right? So, but United States, they consider the person strong when they develop the weight of the body one time, right? So let's go suppose your weight is 150.
Yeah.
If you lift 150 pounds and develop one time, they're gonna say you are a strong person. And the average in the United States, in the universities, right, is 1 year and a half for you get strong. You have to train 1 year and a half.
Before you can lift your body weight?
Of course, have people go less, have people go longer, right? But the average is 1 year and a half. And I got strong. I developed with 11 years old because you 11, you don't have strength as adult, you know. I did this in 6 months, right? So I was more or less 70 kilos. So I lifted 70 kilos and developed once when I was 11 years old. So the owner of the gym, he even said if I would like to be an Olympic lifter, you know, but I used to do weights just for fun, you know, when you're a kid, you want to be strong, Hulk or Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever, right? So I used to train just for fun, not to compete, not, you know. And when I start jiu-jitsu, I slow down the weight training because you need some flexibility in jiu-jitsu and lift too much weight heavy. Your flexibility is not that good, right? So, and I started to swim, do water polo, because I got impressed with the condition of the water polo guys. And the guys came to train, do rowing. Is the two kind of athletes I saw the best conditioning to adaptate to train jiu-jitsu, you know. So bodybuilders, they get tired in 2 minutes. they can't move anymore, right? Because too much muscle is not very good.
And tight shoulders.
So when I was 15, I started to do water polo and rowing to improve my condition because I got really impressed with the guys. I could tap the guy 100 times and you start to get tired, right? And the guys were fresh. So this impressed a little bit. So, and I said, no, I want to improve my condition. I want to do these fights also. And that's it.
Was that mostly in the pool or in the ocean?
No, pool, water polo, right? So I went to a club, they have a team, right? So, and I was a good in sports, So I was called to be member of the polo team after 1 month only training. Is another thing very rare.
How do you play water polo? Is that with a ball?
Yeah.
Is it like dodgeball or something almost?
No. They have a goal inside the water, floating, right? So a goalie and the guys playing, right? So
are you like running?
you guys have to swimming.
Swimming with the ball.
Your feet don't touch the floor, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's very hard in the training. Sometimes you have to cross the swimming pool 50 meters just with your legs. You hold the ball here on the top and you have to cross the 50-meter swimming pool as warm-ups, right? To do many exercises inside the water. Swim with the ball in front of your face here, to learn how to do the movements you need for the game, But it was very hard training, hardcore. I remember I used to get out of the training super hungry. And one day, across the club that I used to train, they opened this all-you-can-eat meat. It was free. Oh my God. I ate so much there. I never going to forget this. So, anyway, it was the first day of you call churrascaria in Portuguese, right? So all you can eat meat. And at that time, I still used to eat meat because I stopped to eat meat maybe 37 years ago.
So you eat white meat and fish, right?
Yeah,
seafood?
I only eat animals now, fly or swim, right? So no pork, no cow, no other this kind of animals.
Why?
Right?
How come you decided to do that?
Because I hate to be sick.
I hate to be sick.
And what happened? I hated the hospital, I went, when I used to go hospital to even visit someone, I feel so bad. I was feeling I was going to pass out because I don't like to go to the hospital, I always took care of my health to avoid to go to the hospital, right? But sometimes in life you have no problem, some problems you can't control, right? So, but anyway, when they start to inject too much steroids, right? When you eat the meat, it takes 2 weeks to digest in your body. So if you eat meat every 2 weeks, no problem, right? But if you eat meat every day, the thing is going to accumulate in your body and you don't digest. And if this meat have a lot of steroids inside your body, I did weight training, I never took any steroids, nothing. Only thing I used to take powder protein, right? To do shakes, the only thing. I never took nothing to shit and be stronger and grow more my muscles, nothing like that. So it's always natural. I'm against this. Many people do, I know, but everybody have different beliefs, right? So
yeah,
my belief is be natural is always the best, right? So anyway, so that's the reason I stopped to eat meat,
All right.
And pork I start even before. I don't eat pork maybe 53 years when I start jiu-jitsu more or less at the same time.
Damn, that's a lot.
Sausages and pigs and whatever, right? So nothing like that.
A lot of pork is processed, and you have tons of bacon, sausages, processed.
No thanks. And that's why many times I don't buy Caesar salad because they throw a lot of bacon and I don't eat bacon.
Oh.
They destroy the food,
When you started training with Carlson, first of all, did he know that you already liked the neck, or did?
No, I never said it to nobody, but
But did he express that he saw potential in you right away?
Oh yeah, he liked me right away. He said, "You're very good. You're gonna be part of the team." He didn't even charge me.
Amazing.
The guys with good potential, I don't know, because Carlson is a phenomenal guy, so never care about money, If they see the guy dedicated, and I remember I took students there, didn't have the financial condition to pay, and I told the Carlson, I said, look, this guy here going to dedicate to be a good fighter for the team, Even when I had my students, when my mom sold the big apartment I used to teach in my house, right? So I brought everybody to train with Carlson there. And some of the guys, I said, these guys, he knew the guys already because what happened? In the 70s, right? Only had the Gracie Academy. They didn't have, Carlson didn't call his gym Carlson Gracie Academy. It was everything, House Gracie, Helio Gracie, Orion Gracie, all the Gracie had schools. Houston Gracie was Gracie Academy, right? And what happened? At that time, so when you put your team in the tournament, in each category of weight, you only allowed to put 2 guys to represent. So the Gracie Academy had the Helio Gracie School, the House Gracie, the Carlson Gracie, at that time only those 3, right, that used to compete. So the guys send, and sometimes you have 20 guys in the weight category, and only 2 can go to the tournament. You see that the trials, these mini tournaments to select the 2 gonna represent, was 10 times harder than to win the tournaments because we usually destroy the other schools that have them, right? So anyway, but to win this tournament, everybody win this tournament was champ already in the real tournament,
Right.
Very rare someone lose it, but one guy in 100, right? It was on 1% the average.
In order for them to compete at the tournament, they had to already win a big tournament.
My students, when I used to teach my house, I used to take them to this competition because I was always represent Carlson. I never used my name, right? So I think loyalty in the art is something more important to learn, right? So anyway, I used to take my guys there, and one of them was De La Riva, right? And Carlson saw the list of my guys, and he went right away to De La Riva. So, Marquinhos, this one I'm gonna cut here because it's the same category of Maneco. Maneco was Carlson's nephew, really good in jiu-jitsu. I said, no, Carlson, don't do that. The boys here, let him play. And he come to me and said, well, don't gonna complain later. I told you, right? So, Maneco. I said, yeah, I know, but the boy gonna do a good fight. And he laughed, thinking Maneco would destroy. De La Riva was exactly the opposite. De La Riva destroyed Maneco. And after the fight, I go to him just to joke with him and say, hey, Carlson, what do you think about the kid? It's a little tough, right? He walked away, he didn't even answer me. He was mad, But anyway, what I want to say is all my students used to go to this competition there. They got the spots, all of them, right? Do I teach different jiu-jitsu from Carlson? No, exactly the same. What makes the difference? After my classes I teach for my students, I stay on the mats 2 hours, rolling with all of them, no stop. The guy got tired, I put another one. Got tired, another one. So they couldn't understand the things more advanced that I used to do with them, right?
Yeah.
I remember this was 79 when I talk about. I was still brown belt. I shouldn't be black already, but I was still brown. I had to win the tournament in 1980 and 81 to have a belt with a reason, right? So anyway, because in Brazil was like that. You win 2 tournaments in a row with the same belt, you cannot go the third year wearing the same belt. You're forced to change your belt. Whereas the rules of the federation at the time, right? So anyway, but I was still brown belt in 79 because I stopped, how I told you, when I was in university to train jiu-jitsu. I was only doing judo. I have no time. I had a job, I have university, right? So I have my private life, so anyway, no time. And that's it, but I just say the level, what I said, the difference for the trainer at Carlson Gracie was my warm-up. Until 1970, the sports in Brazil, nobody, even the Brazilian soccer team that was the best in the world, they never did the conditioning. Only 1970, they started to do conditioning to improve, right, in the game. And in Jiu-Jitsu, I started also in 1970. So me and Carlson Gracie was the only 2 guys at the Gracie Academy care about conditioning. Run up the hills, swim, and lift weights, whatever, right? So anything you can do to help it, to improve it, was not normal, someone do that. And I used to do, people nowadays, my students and even my representatives, when I go do seminars, some people wanna check it out what's about my warm-up, and they see the reason, right? Because the other schools don't do that. Other schools don't teach 2 hours class. They, and I think so it's very important. And this is something I give it for free to my students. They don't pay me to put the guy in good shape. They pay me to learn jiu-jitsu. And I give this for free for the students. And many people don't like throwing the garbage because nowadays, many people are lazy, right? So, but I still do. I tell the guys, you don't like, you don't want, no problem. Come to the class after the warm-up. But the reason of the warm-up is not to put you in good shape to fight. You need the warm-up to increase your endurance when you're gonna fight. And make it more difficult to have injuries when you fight. Most of the guys in the gym here, well, the truth is most of the guys get injured in the gym. It's not even at the gym. They do this, do snowboard, they do mountain bike, do this, do that, play soccer, whatever. It's not here. But the guys hurt in the gym. Some people don't tap fast enough, but some people get the injury because they didn't do the warm-up. So it's very important to do the warm-up. If they like or don't like, I don't care. I do what my conscience tells me to do. Because I study physical education and I know it's important. Any sports, right? MMA, swimming, whatever, you have to warm up before you compete, before you fight, before you do whatever, right? So, and some people don't understand that. They think I'm a lazy or something, because I do this crazy warm-up. I saw people comment, oh, he's lazy. He wanna kill us. No, I wanna put you healthy. I'm not amazing, man. I'm Brazilian.
Hilarious. I remember Benito would always say that it's way easier now than it used to be. Like you used to use weights or like have people hang.
Yeah,
exactly.
exercises
and stuff.
Yeah. Because
hanging.
People change, right? So you have to change. Life's like that. You have to adapt for what you have, right? So if people don't like to do, I cannot go super hard because I'm gonna have no team, no students at the gym, right? But even in Brazil, I used to have a gymnastics school, right? And I have one group of people that you can say they're a little bit maniac about conditioning and, be in good shape. I used to have a special class for these people, but we do something insane. Warm up, first of all, you do 2,000 jumping jacks holding 2 kilos in each hand, right? So, no, 2 kilos for the ladies, right? For the guys, 3 kilos each hand, or even 4.
2,000?
2,000. It's like 15 minutes,
Okay.
And these sets, these jumps you do here, 50, we used to do sometimes 500 in a row, right? In a row. And totally different because some people here do the jumps. Instead to bring the knees to your chest, they keep the legs straight, they open and close.
Yeah.
Looks like they need some ventilation on the ass. Or have hemorrhoids, I don't know. Right? That looks like for me because the movement's not like that. You do this, you don't gonna have any benefits from the movement,
It's supposed to be what, like for your abs and for your hip flexors?
No, it's for your legs too.
Yeah.
Because every time you bring a knee to your chest and you flex your legs, drop your hip, after 100, your legs gonna burn like hell. And people don't like this sensation.
Yeah.
They're gonna ventilate the ass. So, what can I do?
Yeah.
I show how to do properly, but they don't wanna do, I cannot force people to do, right? So, no, just one example, right? So, and used to do these jumps 500 and push-ups around over 200 too, was super hardcore. And the abs, I don't even give the abs I used to give to the guys there because it's super difficult to do. But these guys, we used to train separately to do abs hang on the bar. When you only do abs hang on the bar, upside down, or holding the bar, moving your legs, right? When you go to the floor, it's kindergarten, super easy, right? You can do any abs, you do it as much as you want, right? Because you train hang on the bar. So that's the thing. But nowadays, people like couches and popcorns and they don't like, we used to call in Brazil, give your body to the devil. I was the devil, right? So, but I put the guys in good shape and with gold medals. That's what's important,
I wonder how, so when you started joining jiu-jitsu, did most people compete? Like most people on your team? Or were there people who did it casually as well?
No, my team in my house, I think so. Minimum 90% of the guys compete. Okay. But at Carlson Gracie School, not everybody competes. I even remember I used to have very good training partners, right? Like Zé Roberto, the guy is a history teacher in school, right? So he was really good, but he never competes, Because some other guys, good training partners too. Some people don't like competition. They feel nervous. I saw many guys, because you have 3 kinds of people, right? The one train very well in the gym, fight very well in the tournaments. Another one, fight very well in the gym and shake in the tournaments.
That's me.
Shake, right? So they need the diapers, I don't know. And the guys, I saw this is the most, but sometimes I have a few. They're very bad in the training, but when they go to the tournament, they become monsters. Look like they have a secret identity. They took off the clothes and boom, become super something, you know?
Whoa.
Superman, super whatever.
Is there any way to tell?
But not many people, you know, but I met some people like that. You know, I have a very close friend, he even starts to train before I'm here. And he was okay in training, not impressive. But when go to the tournaments, look like somebody inject something on the guy, I don't know, you know. It's about the way people are, right? So you cannot force people be like that or not, right? So
have you seen people who are good in training and need diapers in the tournament? Have you seen them get better?
Yeah, of
they
course.
Learn to compete?
Many.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they you just have to keep doing it? And then eventually you don't need the diapers?
I saw guys competing. Look, he loses to a guy in the tournament, but if you roll with this guy in the gym, you would submit the guy minimum 20 times in 5 minutes. But in the tournaments, I don't know if something blocked the person, they can't perform.
Yeah.
Right? So one thing very important is because Carlson Gracie Gym at my time, we train, but not like in competition. We train, stop, the guy tap, stop, you know, but the competition training is something different, you know. So, and Carlson used to do this only 2 weeks before the tournament. But he should, in my opinion, do this the whole time, right? So the guy starts standing and sometimes go with 2, 3 in a row, you know, 5 minutes this guy, 5 to the other guy, 5 to the other guy, because sometimes in the tournament you don't have too much time for the next fight, right? So you have to be in shape, right? So it's like Mike Tyson one day said, if you go long time ago, the championship was 15 rounds, right? Yeah, now it's 12, right? Yeah. Mike Tyson said, I'm ready for 20 rounds, more than I need, right? But who have this mentality like Mike Tyson nowadays? If you want to be good at something, you have to go crazy because other people are going crazy. You have to train at least the same the other guys are training, right? So,
when you...
but it's harder to find those people nowadays. Very hard.
Yeah. When you would prepare for competition and stuff, would Carlson roll you as well? Did he roll you?
No. Carlson don't used to roll with the students.
No? Even from the beginning of when you started with him?
No, when I started, Carlson was like 38 years old, more or less, right? So 37, 38. So he didn't roll with the guys anymore. He was not even, he stopped to fight MMA. I think so it was even kind of late, until 35. 2 years before I started to do jiu-jitsu, it was his last MMA fight. So 68,
Dang.
I believe.
So you never got to roll him?
No, he showed techniques, you know.
Yeah.
On you, but he don't used to fight. Sometimes I saw him fighting a few times against Sergio Iris, but this guy was black belt when I started.
Right.
No, when I started he was brown, but he used to train hard with Carlson. And one time I saw Carlson fight Halls. Halls usually keep challenging him to go roll and Carlson, get out. Treat him like a kid, right?
Yeah.
So, and one day I think so he was upset with something. He came with the kid to the gym, said, Rose, wanna train, let's go. And he destroyed Wallace in few seconds, like Wallace didn't even know what jiu-jitsu was about, you know? And nobody told me that. I was there and I saw, right? So Carlson is from another planet, In Rawls, many people consider him the best guy ever living in jiu-jitsu. He used to dominate Rickson and everybody else, right? So, very good competitor. But Carlson Gracie, I'm sorry, but it's another department.
Yeah, you guys have I'm curious about what your relationship was like with Carlson, because obviously you're so loyal to him.
Well,
long after.
Carlson had many friends, We had this big age difference, When I started, I was 13, he was 37, 38. So, anyway. But he liked me because his passion in life was cockfights, right?
Oh, the roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And many of these lines he brought for jiu-jitsu, they use it in the cockfights.
Wait, the what? That they?
Cockfights, right?
Yeah.
Some slangs he brought to jiu-jitsu came from cockfights.
Oh.
For example, mutuca.
What does that mean?
Mutuca, you put the two cockfights to fight each other. One attack, this one only run away. The one run away, called mutuca, is a coward, don't want to fight.
Yeah.
And he brought this nickname to jiu-jitsu. Here in North America, maybe people don't know, but in Brazil, everybody knows what's mutuca, right? So,
you don't want to be a mutuca.
No, of course not. He hates mutucas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Even he say in his interviews, something I can't stand is mutuca.
Oh my God. So they would just put these two roosters together and they would just fight to the
Oh yeah, he invited me one time. I didn't like too much, I think so it's too much violence because they put blades on the legs of the cocks to kill the other one faster, and they fight until they die, cocks, they don't stop. Unless the mutucas that run away, they even stop the fight because nobody wanna see that, right? So, like some guys fighting the UFC, keep run away from the guy. My friend, you do MMA, you're not doing marathon running, right? So, you go to fight, you have to fight. Real fighter fight wherever the fight goes. If you go under the water, it's still fight under the water. Oh, but this guy, I don't fight stage, I don't fight on the ground, I don't fight here. You're not a fighter, I'm sorry, Fighter fight wherever the fight goes, right? So, that's what I think.
When you would compete, did you use judo to take people down and then go to jiu-jitsu?
No, in the beginning, I was not even doing judo.
Okay.
Right? I started to do judo in 75. From 70 to 75, no judo. Right? So, but me and the guys from my generation never ever sit on the floor, jump to guard, do something like that. Mm-hmm. It's something, I don't know, bad for you.
Yeah. Make
you feel like a loser if you do something like this. You have to fight on the top. If you cannot take the guy down, who cares? Fight standard until you can take the guy down. We don't have this necessity to go to the ground. I have the necessity to be on the top, on the ground. Mm. That was the mentality, And, for example, I was very pushy with myself, right? So if I finish a fight, I win, but I didn't submit to the guy, I felt like I lost the fight.
Yeah, I get that.
Right? So I used to get mad. I won some fights, and I lost 2 fights, didn't even go to the ground. I lost in the flags, 2 flags against 1. So, but I get less mad than if I fight and don't submit to the guy.
You get less mad.
Yeah, if I take the guy down and don't do the business, get mad.
Did you have a favorite way to take it to the ground? Like, would you go? I don't know. Did you have like a specific move that you would go for?
I don't know, but like Carlson Gracie, even they like to talk about him because he passed away on Friday, so 3 days ago. And he was a good friend of my dad, good friend with me too. I've been with him in Brazil last year when I was there for my graduation, But he used to say, I don't know the specific word in English. Impulso is impulso when you prepare to do a long jump, something like that, right? So, and he used to say, step back, not even if you're gonna jump forward, so you never go back in a fight. And I was like that. I only, like a car, don't have the gear to go backwards, right? So only forward. And increase the speed and only forward. So I was like that. So go forward, I think so you intimidate the guy a little bit because you don't go back.
Yeah.
And attack. Try to go to the legs, try to do the clinch, whatever. Because when you do the clinch, you can do the sacrifice throw. It's easy to go to the ground and stay on the top, right?
Just getting clinching around the waist.
The takedowns in jiu-jitsu have to be careful because in judo, you try to take down, you fall at the bottom, the guy on your back, whatever, the ref stop the fight. In jiu-jitsu, when you go to the ground, it's when you start the fight. So it's very important the way you're gonna land on the ground. I don't wanna do a takedown. Let's go suppose I do 2 points to do the takedown. And I gave my back to the guy scored 4 points. And I'm in a horrible position, right? So you have to be careful with the takedowns you use when you go compete, right? Because not all the judo techniques are effective, in my opinion, for jiu-jitsu, So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you ever get injured in the competition?
In competition, no. But I went to competition with injury.
What injury?
Because Carlson said I had to go.
What was your injury?
Knee injury.
That's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, I fought with 5 little acupuncture needles in my knee, wrapped the knee with the inner tube of bike, right? To make the thing solid, don't move too much. After that, put the elastic band, and after that, a volleyball knee pad, right?
Oh
so to protect the knee. Because some tournaments have many people, they do all the eliminatories 1 week, and the finals, sometimes finals, semi-finals, or only finals, they do the week after, because it's too much time, right? So, and that's it. During the week, before the final, I got injured, so I had these needles. And I told Carlson, I can't go because I cannot even bend my knee. No, you have to go. It's against Soares Gracie students, And I went to this gym, and I have to do what I hate. I have to pull the guy to the guard, because how am I going to fight stand up without one leg, right? So, but anyway, I managed to control the guy well with the guard, we call the Soviet blitz on the guy, the neck, the arm. The guy didn't even try past my guard, and I won the fight. So
how'd you win?
By points of aggressivity, right?
Right,
So,
okay. You just attack,
Yeah.
and didn't give him.
I fight, the guy defend.
Right.
So I can't lose like that. Right?
What was your most common submission that you got in tournaments?
Every tournament I come with something new, right? My first competition, and what's funny because when I used to compete, I used to meet all the guys in that competition with the same technique. The first one was take down, double leg, pass guard, knee on the belly, and choke.
Cross collar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This choke here, right? So, and this was Carlson's favorite position. So, I don't know, but I have many similarities with him. We are the same sign in the zodiac, we are Leo, and in the other Chinese zodiac, we are the same, we are monkey, right? So, I don't know, we have many similarities in fighting style, in behavior, and many other things, right? So, anyway, and this was one of the strong positions Carlson had, the knee on the belly, choking the guy, right?
Do the choke from knee on the belly?
Yeah. No, but I put my knee on the ground.
Yeah.
When I do the second hand sprawl, put the weights.
But you stay on the side, you
Yeah.
don't put them out?
The second tournament, for example, I was developing, because I something new, the clock choke, right? So, take the guy down, and I use this a lot in judo, because judo the guys go to turtle position, because if you pin the guy on the ground, you win the fight. So they don't wanna lose, they go to the knees. And I was a specialist in clock choke. Carlson even asked me to teach all the new students come ask about clock choke. Oh, he gonna teach you, he's the best, you have to do this. So anyway, this second tournament, everybody take down, pass the guard, pretend I don't know how to hold the guy inside the mouth.
Yeah.
Let they turn to get up, and boom, I was just waiting, like the panther on the top of the tree, wait, they come and jump, right? So
Traps.
like a trap.
Yeah.
So easy. And was more like that. And I used this clock choke for a while because it was work well. Even in judo, I did some competition in judo when I was in the university, right? Between 75 to 83. Because I finished economics, started 75, finished 78. And I started physical education in 1980, finished the middle of 83. So this period, only in the 1980, because I was not in the university, I didn't compete in judo, but I competed in jiu-jitsu. 1980 and 81, I won the Brazilian championship, and that's why I got my black belt. I didn't want my black belt without proof that I deserve.
You didn't want it unless you
No.
got it.
Right?
Yeah.
But before I didn't have a chance to compete because I was busy. So when I reached what I think was right, I accepted my black belt. So
But Carlson usually do.
Carlson was hard. Carlson was very smart. He prepared the team, right? Blue belt, all the weight categories, purple belt, brown belt, black belt. He had some very good guys in every single category, every single weight. But for this guy here, passing, he only passes someone to the next belt when he has someone to replace the other one that's gonna replace this.
Oh,
You understand?
Right, so he still has a strong.
So he wanna keep the high level in all the belts, right?
Yeah.
But his school had so many students and people help each other, you know, so the level of the guys increased very fast over there because we work as a team. In any sport, we have to work as a team. Even if it's in individual sport like fight. Basketball is a lot of people play, soccer, volleyball, whatever, right? So, but fight is only you. You don't have nobody to blame, only you, right? And that was one of the reasons that I chose to do jiu-jitsu, because since I was a kid, I was very competitive. And sometimes I go play with my friends. When I was a kid, play soccer or play volleyball, whatever, right? So, and the guys, on my team don't try hard the same way I try. And I lose. I said, I don't like that. I cannot depend from other people. I want to do something that depends from myself. So that's why I have this hard training, everything to be in shape, because I have to give the satisfaction to myself, not to somebody else, right? So that's the way I used to think.
So was that kind of the natural progression for Carlson to get you to start teaching? Like you were winning in competitions and really good at the clock choke, and then he would kind of direct people over to learn from you?
No, the thing is, Carlson always had some people to help him to teach, right? So when I start at Carlson Gracie School, it used to be like that. You go to the gym, you have to learn the self-defense basic course. They have 30-something techniques there. After you learn those 30-something techniques, you start to go to the other room to train jiu-jitsu. It was like a private class for self-defense, right? And I did with his brother, Carlson Gracie, and I learned everything. I had the facility to learn the things, right? In 2 weeks. So after the 2 weeks, I said, man, you learned super fast. You can go to the other room now because you know everything. Repeat many times without any mistake, So that's it.
What kind of stuff would they teach you in the self-defense class?
Well, the basic self-defense program, people hold your neck here, hold you by the shoulder, hold your arm, hold your wrist, push you, hug you over your arms, face you on your back, headlock on your back, side headlock here, punch, kick, how to defend the guy attack with stick, with knife, stuff like that, So.
Was jiu-jitsu, when you started, mostly for self-defense? Would you say? Because like nowadays, a lot of people with no-gi grappling and stuff, it's very much sport-oriented.
Yeah, but the problem is many people didn't do the instructors, right? They didn't do the self-defense course. They don't even know how to teach. But when I started in 1970, you couldn't not start jiu-jitsu if you didn't know the self-defense, right? Because you learn basics, you learn grip, you learn balance, you learn some things that people think is not important, but they are very important, right? So it's important to do the self-defense. But I don't know, nowadays everything became commercial, people come here, not many people is interested to learn self-defense, they want to learn to go compete, and you don't gonna use, nobody gonna come with stick or knife or do crazy stuff in competition, right? So,
thank goodness.
But on the street, this happen, right? So.
Have you ever had to use self-defense? Have you ever had someone come at you with a weapon?
No, with weapon. One time, that thing people use to take the screws off the tire is a piece of metal, right?
Like
to take the screws out.
Yeah.
Is a metal thing, like a little well, and have the thing around to put on the screw to roll and take it off. That thing hurts.
Yeah.
I was attacked once.
With one of those?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, but it's easy, right? So the important is the time, right? So the guy, because if the guy don't lift the arm to hit you, have no power. If you come from the bottom here to do this, don't gonna hurt, right? So they wanna here, they wanna really hurt. So every time they raise the arm, you walk inside and clinch the guy. He don't have the distance he needs to hit you because you're not there anymore, right? So, and after you clinch, it's like taking candies from the kids, fight with people who don't know jiu-jitsu. So.
Put them on the ground, put them to sleep? Or?
Yeah, put to sleep is the best thing.
Yeah.
You don't hurt, you don't need to go to the dentist, right? So, don't need the blood transfusion,
yeah.
right? So, He sleep, wake up. Everybody sleep and wake up every day, right? So, no problem.
Yeah. See, I like that better than,
Exactly.
blowing someone's knee out or
right?
something. Yeah.
It's how I used to say. Jiu-jitsu is love without violence, right?
Is love without violence?
Yeah, because we are close together.
Yeah.
When you go to the movie theater with your boyfriend, you guys hug each other,
Yeah.
kissing, but here we have no kisses, You do some violence, but it's not real violence. It's just to dominate the guy.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, I think it's cool because we're practicing violence, but actually taking care of each other.
Yeah.
Because you have to do it. You put someone in a dangerous situation, but you're the person.
You use the violence against people that deserve the violence.
Yeah.
But you need to have the self-control to know who you're going to impose the violence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the guy come try to rape a daughter, he needs some violence because you can't do things like that, right? So, but one guy just did something like that serious, you can give a little lesson to the guy, but you don't need to hurt the guy, right?
That's right.
So that's why you need good judgment and self-control to don't exceed what you're gonna give to the bad person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and times you don't need to be that violent, but.
How many times have you had to use jiu-jitsu outside, like in the real world?
In Brazil it's normal fight sometimes, right? So.
Like with people you know, or people you don't know?
Yeah, I fight one time with one guy that I knew, but he did bad stuff, right? So, and make you mad.
Yeah.
And when you're younger, it's a little bit hard to control yourself against the assholes, So you get so angry, so mad, you need to go there and learn the guy have respect, right? Because everything's about the respect. Guy failed the respect, right? So I respect all my students here. I tell my students, look, you guys, before be my students, you guys are my friends. I teach the guys like my friends. I invite people to come in my house. That's something not common in Canada. I know people here 26 years. I never was invited to go to his house, right? So you came to my house, I went to your house, normal. But people here, it's like have book appointment, like go to the doctor, I don't know.
Yeah. If
you're my friend, I wanna be with you, I just ring a bell, right? So, but now everything is strange, people don't even call anymore, the world, my opinion, is going a little crazy, It's only text, Are you gonna offend him if I call? Come on, man. Friends don't get offended with friends,
Yeah.
You show that you have courtesy, consideration, friendship, if you call someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're gonna send a card, a text. Come on. I don't agree with that, Even that I'm old school.
Yeah.
Not only jiu-jitsu,
You maintain like all your friendships from Brazil as well, right?
Yeah, I call the guys. Then I get mad, I stay on the phone with the guy. But that's the way I do.
Yeah.
My sister, my brother,
That's how you
my
stay
friend, my partner in the gym, I think so it's important to talk to people, send a message, come on.
What's it like to have changed so many people's lives for the better? People come start jiu-jitsu and then turns their life around.
Well, people are something that come from the where he's living, right? So the group that he's living you see things, you observe things, you learn from things that you see, that you listen, that you have examples. And I don't know, in my school here, I try to give you good examples, right? So, good example first. Number one, respect people. Number two, have loyalty. Number three, have good habits in your life, because your health depends on good habits. I know nobody's perfect, so the guy can have many qualities, but they have one mistake, So, I don't know, I try to be a good influence for the people. And I know that I have some students that if they were not in jiu-jitsu, they could be in jail today, right? So jiu-jitsu changed the life, not only here in Canada, but in Brazil too. I know people came from poor families, the guys from favelas, the percentage of people involved with bad things very big there, and they came to jiu-jitsu. They have it's like a new light in his life, clear the path, so he go do something good, Became a teacher, have a school now, and give good advice to other people. And the biggest jiu-jitsu change is for the kids, I think so all the parents should put the kids in jiu-jitsu, because kids have many different issues, right? So one kid can be timid, they don't look to people. The other one's afraid, they hear a noise, they are scared like that, So in jiu-jitsu, you're gonna start, number one important for the kids, socialize, right? Come to the gym and be happy like if he's at his own house, right? Second, he's gonna start to respect the friends, right? Don't be abusive, because if you be abusive, someone bigger and stronger than you can come and be abusive with you. So you learn how to control these things, because if you do something wrong, karma gonna come right away for you, and you learn it in the hard way, right? So, and they change. They start to don't be afraid, look in your eyes, they don't look to the floor anymore when they face you, right? So, I don't know, I have so many parents that come to me and they don't even know how to thank me. The changes I did for the kids, So, not only me, but you that helped me to teach and the other instructors, So, jiu-jitsu is an instrument that changes people's life,
Totally.
If you want or you don't, but it's gonna change.
Yeah, it's kind of.
You just cannot quit, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you, so did it ever even cross your mind? Did you ever consider quitting jiu-jitsu at any point in time?
I don't know. When I was young, I never had in my mind I would be a jiu-jitsu teacher. Because, first of all, I was not thinking about leaving my country to teach anywhere, and jiu-jitsu was not even well known to try to risk and do something like that, right? So, and second, when I started to teach my house, I asked the blessing of Carlson Gracie, because I'm not open, not different of his team. I just want to prepare more guys, more soldiers to the army, right? So I never had this intention to do nothing different than be increasing the team with more soldiers.
So when you decided to start teaching from home, was that you recruited?
Yeah, this was in 79.
But were those people who were training jiu-jitsu already, or you were introducing them?
No, I told him, I said, Carlson, look, my apartment is very big. My uncle gave some mats to me to put there. And I have many kids with good potential, because that's what I like, guys with potential to make the team stronger, right? So, and these guys don't have money to pay the school. I'm gonna charge a little bit for them because I don't have to pay rent tonight because I do in my house. So let me prepare some guys to bring to the team here to have some different people, because these guys have no condition. And I'm gonna ask him to, I have 10 guys here, you know. Sometimes I take one guy, two guys, no problem, no, but you cannot take a bunch of guys. So I started to train these guys just with the goal to improve the fighters of his team, you know. And I knew I was going to do a good job because I was going to give the condition for these guys too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we finish the training in my house, go to the beach, we run 8 kilometers, you know, after training like 3-4 hours, right? So
on the sand?
On the sand, on the ice, or whatever, right?
Oh
So was very good.
In the heat, like.
Yeah, but sometimes we do something fun too.
Yeah, like what?
Sometimes we go spend the day on the beach. That is very tiring to do sports at the beach, right? After the beach, everybody come to my house to train jiu-jitsu. And after that, when everybody is super hungry, after the beach, after the jiu-jitsu, we go to the all-you-can-eat pizza. And we had a competition. The two guys eat the most slices, they don't pay the bill, the other one's gonna pay. So as a war, everybody eats like. So, but anyway, to make the story short,
yeah.
After few months, the pizza place bankrupt.
Yeah.
The group was eating too many pizzas, all you can eat, but the guy said, somebody came here gonna eat maximum 8 or 10 pieces, not 30, 20 something, you know?
Oh my God.
So they couldn't resist the term.
Oh my gosh. All right, so then how did you decide how did you go from not thinking you were going to teach jiu-jitsu to bringing jiu-jitsu to Canada?
No, anyway, I knew I would like to work with sports. I have a gym for gymnastics in Brazil. People call it around here. A little bit different, but it was something like that. And I started to go back because I had some friends that like to train jiu-jitsu with me. And I asked Carlson to start to go back, and he gave me this time 7 in the morning to teach at the gym.
At his gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Monday to Friday, I was there 7 in the morning teach to the guys. After that, I had another job. I used to teach jiu-jitsu in a school, right? Regular school, not jiu-jitsu school. They had this area there with mats, you know, and I have the times for different grades come and learn jiu-jitsu. So I have this job there. From there I come back. I have some people to do personal training for conditioning stuff, you know. I used to organize tournaments, all the stuff, but I started to be involved again with jiu-jitsu in 1979, right? Because between 75 and 78, I was not too involved in it because I was busy. After that, I opened my gymnastics gym in 1980.
So you're a brown belt at this time?
And in 1980, I started also my University for Physical Education, right? So, and I was mixing teach jiu-jitsu, teach gymnastics, you know, sometimes private class for jiu-jitsu and this and that. Until I started with Carlson, I started my gymnastics gym. And started jiu-jitsu again. Until one day, somebody from Canada came to Carlson. I was not even my day to teach. I was by myself there with the magazine. And I did the private class for the lady. And the last day, she asked if I would like to come to Canada. I thought she was joking, right? So this was in 1996. And the next day she left, the owner of the school she used to help to teach called me, and I started the negotiation the end of 96, November I think. And in March of 97, finally, I got my work visa and I came here. And started full-time jiu-jitsu teaching here.
You came by yourself?
By myself. And I was the only black belt in the whole country when I came in 97. I was the first black belt to open a gym here in Canada, right? So,
sheesh.
April 7, 97.
That's wild. Did Carlson ever come to Canada?
Yes. In 2005 only he came to Canada.
So that's
8
years after you.
I was 8 years. But in the beginning, I was renting space to teach my classes, This, in 2005, I was renting place, but I was more stable at the gym with more students, at this Langley location. And I have one other location, Vancouver, only 2 locations at this time. And that's it. So he came here, he loved Canada, he would like to come back here every year. He said after Rio de Janeiro was the most beautiful city he saw in his life. And he traveled a lot. He traveled 38 countries, right? So he said, after Rio, my favorite was Sydney, Australia, but Vancouver is way nicer. I like it here a lot. I want to come back every year. And when he passed away, I was preparing to bring him again, and I couldn't.
When was that?
This was February 1st, 2006, he passed away.
Oh, wow.
He came here, was like 5 months after he came here to Canada.
Was he sick? Or?
A little bit, but not too serious, But after he left here, looks like the thing improved, but he didn't go to the doctor. He decided to bring his niece from Brazil to do his dad Gracie diet. He thought he would get better. But for sure, if he would go to the doctor, he would get better with the right treatment, right? But he was kind of stubborn to do that.
After that happened, after he passed away, did that strengthen your drive or your commitment to running a gym?
Well, my goal was always represent the loyalty and keep the same level of esteem in Brazil. Some people don't like my gym because I don't promote people too fast. And I promote who deserve. For example, Dennis Kang, he got his black belt in 7 years with me. But he quit his job, I was trained twice a day, every day. And the guy had incredible talent. At one point, he was top 3 in the world in MMA, right? So, some people are different from other people, right? So,
other than quitting your job and just living in the gym, what kind of habits have you seen people have that helps them improve faster?
Well, what make the student improve fast is 2 things, in my opinion. Have a good instruction and learn the basics very well.
Yeah, the basics.
The basics is more important, right? And second, he have as much as he can different training partners. because it's like I say, you're gonna roll with someone, everybody gonna react different, One goes forward, one go backwards, one go right, one go left, another one gonna call mama to help him. So everybody's different. You don't know what they're gonna do. So you need to know in the fight what to expect, right?
Mm-hmm.
To know how to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
So only train with the biggest number of different people gonna help you to improve this, right? So that's how it is. Basic and variety.
Basics.
And variety of training. Yes.
Okay. And I mean, ideally, if you could just train every day, that would be better. That would make it go quickly.
Well, depends your life.
Yeah.
Right? Because take a look here. This is a line here, right? So your condition is right here on the line, right? I'm gonna show to the camera this side here. You work out, anything you do, swim, fight, whatever, right? So you go down because you spend the energy here. So to go back up again, how you go back? Eating and resting. But take a look, if I go here and I go a little bit up and I work hard again, go here, instead to go up to improve it, I'm going down.
Right.
Because they didn't have the rest enough, the alimentation goods, so you need to be smart in your training. And everybody's different, You have to adapt your body for whatever sport you're gonna do and increasing slowly. You need to feel you come back healthy and happy and with energy to do your training. You cannot come, I sleep 2 hours today, I'm gonna train. No.
Yeah.
Your training is gonna be horrible. It's better don't come. You have to be smart, right?
All right, so you encourage recovery.
And that's your choice, right? So if you wanna party every day,
Party?
Yeah. Drink, use the stuff, go dance, go whatever, right? So you have to rest to recover, right? So some people use the substances, so you need to recover. And it's hard to do these things and mix it up with training. I don't know. Everybody know what's better for them, but like I told you, I'm very natural. For me, it's everything natural,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
A lot of fish, fruits.
Sweets.
I have the bad stuff in the sweets, but I don't recommend, right? So...
You don't recommend it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything natural, right?
But you don't drink, you don't smoke. Do you drink caffeine?
No.
No caffeine?
No.
No red meat?
No gamble, no bad habits.
Right, just sweets.
Just sweets. Nobody's perfect. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I tell, but I don't recommend.
Yeah.
Do what I say, not what I do.
One of my favorite things that you said is when you were eating a chocolate and you said, people who don't eat this will die sad. Or like, when people are dieting, you're like, not worth it.
Well, some people think if they do diet, they're never gonna die. You have to have a balance in your life. Sometimes you eat some thing make you happy, You cannot live without happiness. This is not living.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you can diet and feel good about it or enjoy the process somewhat.
Yeah.
But if it's just stressing you out and making you miserable, then it's probably not worth being so rigid about it.
You just need the balance. You cannot exceed something bad, right? So, but if you take a little bit, no problem,
Do you know the orange cat Garfield? He's a cartoon. He loves lasagna.
Garfield.
I think someone had a t-shirt or something once and it was Garfield and he said diet is just die with a T. I like that one. So it would be better, I mean, depending on the person, but like to train, would you say it's better to train like 3 days a week if you're at your best for all 3 days?
Depends on life.
Right, okay.
do have a work, do you work 8 hours a day and come to training, you need more rest than somebody work 4 hours a day or work 3 times a week, whatever, right? So it's hard for me to say, depending how is your life. You have to find out how you're gonna, but more important is to rest well.
Yeah.
If you don't rest, it's damage for your health, for your body, for even your minds, right? So you need to rest. People don't sleep well, they go crazy. They need to do sonotherapy, sleep therapy, and they need to fix because it's gonna create a lot of problems, health problems for them. So rest is something very important, right? Can make you go cuckoo if you don't rest well.
Yeah, you gotta sleep.
That's the truth.
It's funny, like when I first started, I was training. I don't know how many days I was training. There was before I got a job. I would sometimes like 5 days, and then I got a job that I would work 12-hour shifts, but only twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So then I would train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, I think, and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would do afternoon and evening class, and like I wasn't tired. It was fine for me. So now, I'll reflect back on the beginning and be like, well, I used to train 4 days or 5 days or 18 hours or something, right? I'll like add up how many hours I did jiu-jitsu a week, and then I think that I should be able to do that now. And maybe it was 2 weeks ago, or whatever, a few weeks ago I did Thursday night and then Friday night and then the wrestling class on Saturday. And I must have cried like 4 times in the wrestling class. I just had nothing in me. I was so tired. So
you overtrained.
I overtrained, and then I'm like, well, I shouldn't have even showed up because it's just, I was with Zeke and I kept apologizing. Because I was like, you deserve a better partner.
Never said anything.
Really? That's nice, man.
That's why our nickname is Crystal.
I know,
You have
yeah.
crystals in your eyes.
Yeah.
Liquid crystal.
I thought he was gonna stop. Like by the time I got a blue belt, I was like, surely we're gonna cry on the inside, but no, still.
Yeah, but it's what I said, you have to respect your limits, right? So, of course, you will improve your conditioning. You can come train more hours, more days, or whatever, right? So, or the train more intense. Because many people come to the gym, they have zero intensity on the training.
Yeah.
They come like the psychologist therapy thing.
A what?
When you go to the psychologist,
Psychologist.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
and you sit and talk, lay down on the couch. So people come to do this therapy in the gym. You don't want to improve too much, right?
Yeah.
So the intensity is zero. The talk is a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you have to train. You can talk a little bit, so.
Yeah, you can do both. I think it's good to you can have those light rolls when you're tired and decide that you're just going to kind of practice your technique, but sometimes you don't have a lot of energy. But you got to put it on sometimes.
And the other thing I don't like, I'm not the parent of my students, right? So if they want my advice, they can come talk to me and I say what I think. But I cannot force people do what I think is right. Because some people, everybody's different, right? So, for example, if you go to the gym, you should roll with everybody in the gym that day. Of course, sometimes you don't have time to go with everybody, but train as much. You cannot go to the gym and next time, if you didn't train with some of them, you're gonna train with the other some of them, right? You cannot discriminate people in the gym, never train with this guy or that guy. The ego people have is a break for they improve the knowledge and the skills and whatever, right? So you have to train with everybody. I see many people come to the gym, the guys never train with this guy or that guy. You have to train with everybody.
Yeah.
Right? If you win or lose, or you can go to help other people too if you have more knowledge, you know. Some people don't want to spend the guy with a total beginner because they are selfish. They only want to improve them. They don't want to help the other guys. But this is stupidity because the new guy can have a lot of talent. If you teach him maybe 3 months, 4 months, the guy can be very good and can be a good training partner for you.
Yeah, you're developing.
And some guys come to the gym not to learn. They come to the gym to don't lose it. Come on, man. You're going to win and lose it in life, in jiu-jitsu, in everything in your life. You know, cannot be afraid. This is wrong. Everybody comes, should you roll with everybody. Would you like to be discriminated? You go to the gym, nobody go roll with you?
No, it sucks.
Sucks, right?
Really good, yeah.
Yes. So if it sucks for you, you should act in a way that you don't gonna make people feel miserable, feel unhappy, feel sad, whatever, right? So this is wrong. So
yeah, it fragments the team too. Like then people feel like they can't ask, or maybe they're more afraid to ask other people because they've been rejected or something, and they internalize that. You ever would you ever sometimes do the thing where we all sit around, you pair us up, or like a Shark Tank kind of situation, just set something like that up where?
Well, sometimes I do, right? But it's very hard because when you teach, you have to feel the energy of what the student send to you, right? So everything you do in your life, you need motivation. Without motivation, you lay down on the couch and keep looking to the ceiling, waiting the life go and go and go. Right? So you need motivation. So it's very sad for the teacher go to the gym and don't feel that the guys needed his help. They give no motivation for them. Even, for example, I go to the gym, right? I do what almost nobody do in jiu-jitsu. I let my students ask questions every single class, right? And if you go to the class, people don't ask nothing. And you think, oh my God, what these guys are doing here? I have questions, how they don't have questions? I do jiu-jitsu for 53 years with the best guys,
You should start asking.
I have a question, how they don't have a question? So, they show no interest. So, what's the motivation I have to teach? They give me motivation? No, they don't give.
Maybe they have the answers.
Right? No, they don't. They don't because I watch the training and I get itchy on the couch with the wrong things they are doing,
Yeah.
It's the truth, I say sometimes what people don't like to hear, but it's the truth. People don't like the truth, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you feel silly
it's
when you
not my fault.
Corrected, but I like it when you correct me. If I'm doing something and I'm just like, it's not working out, and you yell something out.
My position is very hard because I have to make my students better, and to do this I have to criticize what they're doing wrong. But with good intentions, not bad intention, the way some people think, They think they are God, they don't make mistakes. Everybody do mistakes in life. And it's how I say all the time, I can come and see one brand new guy come to the gym, and from the mistake the guy do, I can see and create a new technique from that mistake the guy do, So I learn even with white belts, right? So how someone can think they know everything? Not even Carlson, my teacher, for me that I consider him the son of jiu-jitsu. Nobody gonna shine like him. We are all little stars compared to him, right? Even him, he didn't know everything. I showed techniques that I developed myself to him to ask his blessing, He said, oh man, this is really good, it's amazing, So I like to study jiu-jitsu when I'm not teaching to bring something new to my students, So, because you win the fight, surprise the opponent. You don't want to do what is expecting there, right? So you know how to defend, right? So that's my job. I try always create new things, new defenses, new attacks, new sweeps, new whatever, right? So because I want to give the best to my students, right?
Yeah.
And I give the freedom for them, but what happened? Many people don't know how to use the freedom. They have to be in the leash, and you bring it to the right place, because if you let them lose, they're gonna disappear or go to the wrong way,
I think maybe sometimes people also just don't know what to ask. Like maybe they're not aware of mistakes that they're making, or another way that they could develop their game specifically.
It's very simple.
Okay.
Everybody roll.
Yeah.
When you roll, you have a problem with every different people. Or this guy, I cannot pass this guy. This guy, I cannot stay in the mouth, he always take me away. Of course you have problems. That's what you have to ask. Because for each training partner you have, the answer is different. With one guy super skinny, super flexible, is not the same problem he's gonna have with Colton that have 330 pounds and is super strong, So you need to ask. Sometimes people ask questions, even with Colton, right? They have a problem because the guy bench press everybody on the top of him.
Yeah.
But have other people too, right? So Andrew, very flexible, very coordination with his guide, hard to pass, So people should ask the questions how to fix the problems, But I don't know if they get lazy, they think they can find out the solution,
Yeah. Maybe they're just shy sometimes also.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's cool, like when you have a problem, say if I have a problem and it's against, I don't know, whatever, somebody specific, and then you teach me a solution to the problem they're giving me, it doesn't only benefit me, it actually benefits them as well, because now they have to adapt their game even more, and then we all kind of improve together.
This never ends. You learn a defense for something, the guy learns how to beat the defense, and you learn the other defense, and the guy learns something to beat the other defense.
Yeah.
Never ends.
And then you develop something new.
Yeah. You really needed to be open-minded for jiu-jitsu, because you have to accept different things all the time, So.
Yep. How would you suggest you develop a competition mindset if you are scared of competition, but feel like it's good for you?
Okay, first of all,
asking for a friend.
You have to start to compete at your gym.
Okay.
That you feel more comfortable.
Compete where?
At your gym.
At your gym.
Yeah.
Just getting people to stand up.
Yeah, start stand up like if you're at a tournament,
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only way, And after that, start to go to competition. If you get scared, you're gonna scare 100% the first time. Second time you go maybe 85. Third time you go maybe 50%. And after you do 5 or 10 competitions, depends each one, right? So you're not gonna get scared anymore.
You just keep doing
it. You get used to do the thing, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't do often. We don't feel too much confidence, right? So you needed to go and think like that. Competition is just one more day of training for me. You're gonna put in your mind that you are going to the gym to train, but you're just gonna train with different people in the competition, right? So, and you have to believe in what you know, because the biggest problem is people put in their minds, oh, I don't know if what I know is enough. And if they come with something I never saw in my life. So I'm going to tell you something, right? So if you go, one example, to Harvard University to get your diploma there, you cannot, because they are the best to teach. You cannot be afraid if you're going to do a job interview with the guy got his diploma in the internet. You understand? So you have to trust in a teacher. I teach Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know nothing better on the planet than Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu for competition. You know? And you see our students usually perform very well, right? So obviously not everybody. Some people don't have too much talent or didn't spend too much time to prepare themselves for the tournament, no? But if they do what I teach, don't try to invent, don't try to be Einstein, think they have different solutions, they're gonna do well, right? So
what is it that sets Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu?
Carlson Gracie had a team in Brazil that won every single competition they compete for 30 years in a row. 30 years in a row. You don't have any sport on the planet somebody did this, not even for 10 years. Don't know any basketball won everything they play for 10 years. Volleyball, soccer, curling, hockey, tell the sport. Speed far away, no, nobody.
Spit far away.
Yeah.
30-year champion.
So,
yeah.
right? They don't have it. Carlson Gracie, in my opinion, should be awarded with the coach of the millennium, because in 1,000 years, it's not in 10 years or 100 years. In 1,000 years, nobody gonna do what he did.
What made him such a great coach?
I don't know. The talent.
Yeah.
Right? So, how many Wayne Gretzky's have here in Canada? I have only one. How many Michael Jordans? Only one, right? So, the guy born with this talent. Sometimes people throw the garbage. They have talent to do something, they're gonna do something else. The guy could be amazing to do something, they don't care, they're gonna do something else. They're gonna be an ordinary guy like everybody else.
Yeah,
right? So you needed to have this feeling to know what you're good at. And second, you don't only need to be good what you do. You need to have passion for what you do. Without the passion, you don't gonna be nothing special, you know. And Carlson, as I told you, the guy have love for fights, cockfights, human fights, whatever fights, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Just
so
all the fights.
and he understands it. He have this knowledge, you know. I never saw somebody as smart as him to coach the guy. For example, this guy gonna fight this guy. This guy here, his student, right? He gonna fight this guy. He trained his students just to work on the weakness of the other guy. Some people don't even know what's the weakness of the opponent sometimes. You have to be very intelligent to do that. Have a lot of feeling, you know, to prepare your guy. And I have examples, right? So he trained Valid, is one of his black belts, to fight Renzo Gracie in Brazil. Renzo Gracie is a very technical, very good fighter. But Carlson trained Valid 2 things to do in the fight. It was 1 hour challenge. Valid beat Renzo. Renzo lost, but in my opinion, Hands is still better than Valide, more technical. He can teach better people, And Valide won the fight. Valide went to fight again. Royce Gracie challenge. Was 1 hour challenge again. He put Royce Gracie to sleep. Carlson trained him to do
Specifically
one thing, and he won the fight. Right? So this is something amazing. Not many people have this, right? As a coach for a soccer team, volleyball, whatever, you to check the weakness of the opponent, and it's hard because every opponent is gonna have a different weakness. You needed to have this understanding very well about the fight to prepare your students to go there and take advantage of what the guy is not good at.
So he had a lot of natural talent and a high fight intellect, and also like an investment in their success, right? Because he wanted to see them succeed. And
Yeah, he do this for love.
that's cool.
He have this competition thing in his mind,
Yeah.
and he wanna do the competition team to, sometimes to make fun of his uncle Julio Gracie, because he used to say his side of the family was the best, and Carlson proved him wrong many times,
So even though they had those family rivalries and stuff, like were they all close, or were they actually rivals?
Well, they're close, they don't hate each other, but it's
They both
strange
wanted-
close,
Yeah.
right?
They still both
It's a
wanted-
close that's not tight.
Got it. That's funny. Oh, I had a question, but I forgot what it was. Dang. Do you have like a favorite competition memory from your own competitions? Was there one that was like the best victory for you?
Well, I remember 2 fights that I lost, but I shouldn't lose, in my opinion, right? Because both fights didn't even go to the ground. So I'm never gonna forget this, because me and many other people said I should win, but you have bad referees, bad judges everywhere. So it makes me mad because I trained very hard for those fights. Was close fights, should be minimum a draw. I shouldn't lose. But it is what it is. The fights I won, I trained hard for that, for me. And I'm not surprised.
Right. There's not any like standout victory of a submission that was your favorite? No, because you did a bunch of the same ones, so.
Well, the good fighter, he do the submission that the opponent make easy for him to get, right? So, but I used to do a little different. I used to prepare a trap to do what I want, not what he exposed to me. I make the guy exposed to me in what I want. So, this is not very easy, right? You need talent and experience, because when I make the guy give the arm to me, or give the neck, or give the turtle position, right? So.
That's cool. Remember, Benito told me one time, he was saying that, like, once you, discover, say, your most dominant position, whatever position you feel the best at, or you can get the most submissions from. So like for him, he liked that Keza, right, where he did the crusher kind of position, and he's like, and then from there, find a pathway how to get to that position from any position. So did you kind of do that kind of thing?
Well, this is something that I think different a little bit, right? Because sometimes if you are very strong in a technique, but you don't know if the guy is very strong to defend that technique,
Right.
right? And in the fight, you cannot waste your time in something that they don't offer to you, because the guy is blocking. So how are you gonna go through the blocking? I cannot go through the wall. I have to find the door, the window to jump or whatever, right? So through the wall I cannot go. So when the guy defends very well something, it's like a wall that I can't go through, right? So your open mind, that I call, to change and move around to see what's available. Sometimes it's not available. I told you I had these 2 fights, didn't even go to the ground, right? So the period of the fight is very short, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, black belt. So sometimes the guy fight defensive, don't offer nothing to you. So I don't know, but it's good you try your strengths in the fight, but if you can get, that's the big problem. People cannot get what they are good at. They get frustrated in the fight and get lost in the fight. So you have to be ready. If my thing didn't work, I have other things ready to go, right? So you cannot rely only one technique or 2.
Yeah.
You have to be,
Don't get tunnel
feel the
vision.
sensibility what the guy is gonna give it to you in the fight, right? So that's very important. Don't get frustrated in the fight. And there's another thing. You only get this with experience,
Right.
You have to polish yourself. Don't be frustrated, because don't gonna help you not.
That's true. Yeah, it takes some time to learn.
Yeah.
What is there? Because I remember you were saying that you can usually recognize someone's potential pretty early on, like when they join the gym within, I don't know if it's like the first class, the first week or whatever, but you can tell if someone is going to, I don't know, develop, whatever. You can see potential. So like what kind of qualities are there that you're looking for or that you notice?
Well, the thing is, sometimes you see potential in the person, but you don't know the day of tomorrow, because people change.
Right.
Today people want this, tomorrow they want that, the day after they want something else. So the most important thing is the guy understand what he wants, right? Or today I want blue, tomorrow I want red. No, you have to choose something to follow to reach your goal, right? So you cannot change too much. Or it's like people, sometimes they start jiu-jitsu. Oh no, I'm gonna do MMA, but they don't know what they're gonna do. I'm gonna lift weights or train box or Muay Thai or wrestling or jiu-jitsu, or they get lost, So you need someone to give the orientation for the guy, follow the right path to do it, right? So
just like
that's one example. If you want to be good in jiu-jitsu, you have to train jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
The guy cannot come here and say, oh, but today I want to do no gi. No, my friend, when I be good in jiu-jitsu, I have to do jiu-jitsu with the gi. When you get good enough, you can vary and go learn something. But if you try many things at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So something gonna go wrong, because you don't gonna go perfect, Like if you go to the kitchen and do 5 dishes at the time. So some people like to do that, many things at the time. One food you're gonna burn, right?
Yeah.
So you should do what you wanna do until you reach one stage, one level, right?
That's
So,
like commit to doing one
but
thing.
you have no level. You wanna do 10 things, you don't gonna get to the level, never ever, in nothing, right?
How would you describe the difference between jiu-jitsu and the gi and no-gi jiu-jitsu. Would you consider no-gi jiu-jitsu, or would you just consider it a different sport altogether?
Well, em Brasil, jiu-jitsu is with the gi.
Right.
No-gi is called luta livre.
Call it what?
Luta livre.
Luta livre.
Free fighting, the
Free
translation.
fighting. That's that,
Right?
yeah.
So, luta livre is without the gi. Jiu-jitsu with the gi.
Yeah.
Is everything happen because the interests, especially when money is involved, right? So the IBJJF saw that in Brazil, I never saw in my life, when I used to compete, a jiu-jitsu tournament without the gi.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a disrespect if the guys from the federation, Robson, Carlos Gracie, Hilo Gracie, see something like that, they would go crazy, you know?
Okay.
Anyway, they had the Luta Livre competition, they didn't even have too much, and Jiu-Jitsu competition, right? So, what happened? When Jiu-Jitsu came to United States and created the IBJJF, they saw many people are training Jiu-Jitsu too, and they make you lose the characteristics of Jiu-Jitsu that's with the gi.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking like, I don't know, in my opinion, look like a prostitute. Because it's gonna make more money here, you know, gonna do other things, right? So they put no gi Jiu-Jitsu only to have more people in the competition and they make more money.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, this, I can't come understand this, you know, because...
You think it'd be better if they were just separate things, like...
No, because Jiu-Jitsu without the gi is not Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. Yeah.
We can fight the Jiu-Jitsu without the gi if you are in the beach wearing speedo. You still can use the Jiu-Jitsu, but, you know, you have to adapt because you don't have material to hold the collar, sleeve, and nothing, right? Pants, right? So you can use Jiu-Jitsu, but do a variation. But in my opinion, you cannot use it as a competition. For example, Carlson used to do Vale Tudo in Brazil, before MMA, called Vale Tudo in Brazil, right? And he uses no gi, only use speedo to fight, and you know, he uses jiu-jitsu on the thing, right? But these tournaments are Vale Tudo tournaments. It's not a jiu-jitsu no gi.
Right.
Right? So, I don't know. In my understanding, the students can learn, but if they came to learn jiu-jitsu, if they want to learn no gi, they should go to Luta Livre. But I don't know any Luta Livre academy in Vancouver. Right?
Yeah.
Europe, they have some countries there, but
Oh, they actually have...
in Canada, I don't know any Luta Livre, right? And in Brazil was proved because they have this big rivalry between Jiu-Jitsu and Luta Livre. In 1991, they decided to do a challenge. The best Luta Livre guys against the best Jiu-Jitsu guys. And Jiu-Jitsu guys beat them up, right?
Without the gi?
Yeah, it's a MMA. Right? It was Vale Tudo at the time. Was allowed to headbutt the guy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Vale Tudo. Vale Tudo means the translation would be everything is legal. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, not attack the balls of the guy, bite, pull the hair,
gouging.
you know, so eye gouging, but headbutt, elbow, bleeding, people don't stop, the guy's bleeding, you know, doctor checks, you know. The guy wanna stop, he tap. Or at the corner, throw the white towel to stop the fight. So,
Jeez.
it was proven the jiu-jitsu was more efficient. And second, when the Abu Dhabi came, was only competition on gear, all the guys from Jiu-Jitsu went to compete because of the money. Was high prize money, right? So they went there to compete. And they won the whole thing, even not training without the gear. And they fight luta livre guys, they fight wrestlers, they fight, Ricardo Arona fight Marquez and beat him, So Jiu-Jitsu proved that it's very good fight. And these guys only used to train in the gear. They train a little bit without the gear just to understand a few things, but don't need to explain nothing more. Was proven many times, right? So
yeah. What do you think about the popularity of heel hooks being a thing?
Well,
Okay. I don't like it.
The thing is, heel hook, like the other submissions, is one of the submissions you can use, right? The problem they cut in judo and they cut in jiu-jitsu is a form of courtesy. So you don't hurt your training partner and you don't lose your training partner to roll, right? So, because when the pain happens, the damage is there already.
Yeah.
For example, a choke, if you keep going, the guy don't tap, the guy gonna sleep and wake up, don't gonna have damage. The arm lock, you feel the pain, right away you tap.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm more flexible, try to resist, gonna have a little damage, not that bad. But the damage of the heel hook in your knee is very serious, And when the pain comes, the damage is done, and usually people need surgery for that.
Yeah, and the recovery time is so much longer.
Right? So you can train, right, to do this move, but you get to let go. You don't put any pressure. That's how people with the training, so preserve, have a courtesy with the friend, don't hurt him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like, okay, when you go into competition, obviously you want to win and you're gonna be way more aggressive, but are you thinking that you're actually trying to hurt that person? Because I don't have that kind of mindset. A lot of people go into these competitions willing to just
I know, but when
someone's knee.
When you have experience,
Yeah.
you know the limit, right? So, for example, when I used to train at Carlson School, if I get in the submission of the guy, most of the time I don't even let he tap. Because I knew I had it. I like to go and keep the training. Get something else, let go, keep the training. I knew I had the move. So I'm gonna win money, I'm gonna win a car, I'm gonna win apartments. If I make the guy tap, I don't gonna win nothing.
Right.
I just risking the guy to have one injury. Because sometimes they injure themselves because they go roll to the wrong side to try to escape it and they hurt themselves. If you let it go, nothing gonna happen. But not everybody have his mindset to train like that.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I think it's important you preserve your opponent. It's not your opponent, it's your training partner, right?
Yeah.
So opponent is the tournament.
But I think even still, your opponents in the tournament, I don't know,
No, you fight to win, but
not to hurt them, I think. I don't know.
No, you don't fight to hurt.
Yeah.
You can even use your elbow to put pressure, but it's not a strike with your elbow. It's a pressure, Because they don't give things for you and you have to open space to get what you want, right? So you put some pressure, no problem, and you don't gonna hurt people with the pressure.
Oh yeah, that part's fine.
Right?
I just mean
just open the space and you take it off the pressure, right? So pressure that don't hurt, only bring panic to the opponent.
Yeah, that part's fine.
Especially if you put pressure on the diaphragm, because they try to breathe, they can't breathe, panic. And when they panic, they open space for you. But you didn't hurt the person. You just create the panic, right? So.
What else? I think I don't know. I'm always just impressed that. So even in your downtime, you're watching jiu-jitsu stuff and learning about jiu-jitsu. And you've been doing this for how long now?
53 years.
53 years. And you work, I feel like some people don't realize how much you work. What's your schedule?
Well, I work every day of the week.
Yeah.
And my Thursdays are very hard because I teach in 2 gyms, 5 classes in a row. You know? I teach one in Maple Ridge, go to Langley, and 4 classes in a row.
Yeah.
Little kids, teenagers, and adults. So my Thursday is a busy day.
It's a big one.
But I don't know. I go with smile on my face, happy to be with my students, you know, with my family. And I try to do my best every day, develop something new to teach to the guys, answer the questions they have to help them to improve, make the kids happy. Sometimes I have chocolates for the kids, ice cream, you know.
Ice cream?
Yes.
Oh boy.
But it's funny because last class, Saturday, I go give the ice creams. I had 16 ice creams on the freezer. The judo guys took my ice creams. I had 0 ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
So.
What? How could they do that?
I don't know.
I would be so upset.
It's a little problem I have to fix that.
Oh my goodness.
But you stole somebody's ice cream.
Oh,
Maybe
you
I
worked
put
there.
medicine for diarrhea in the ice creams when they eat. When I have a lineup, we only have 1 bathroom, you know.
Oh no. That would be messy.
No, just a joke.
Of course.
That's what they should deserve, you know.
Oh my goodness.
The judo. If they want.
No, I don't know, but Tuesday I had the ice creams. Wednesday they came in, Thursday don't have the ice cream. So.
Interesting. There's an ice cream mystery to be solved.
Now I know judo guys love ice cream. Maybe I'm gonna put a sign on the fridge. Judo guys love ice cream.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Ugh.
Yeah, life has to be with jokes, even in the problems, you know. That's how we do in Brazil.
Yeah, I agree.
Laugh is the best medicine to keep you young.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good philosophy. Should we ask Alex this question? What do you think happens after you die?
Oh yeah, we had this question. Well, what I think is the jiu-jitsu guys, when they die, the guys do berimbolos and 50-50, they go to hell. The old school guys go to heaven.
That could be a controversial opinion.
Just a joke, guys. I don't know. I believe that reincarnation exists, right? So because in life sometimes you can swear that you met this person before that you never met, or you be in that location that you never been before, you know. So I believe in reincarnation. So, but I don't believe in berimbolos and 50-50s.
What would happen if you reincarnated as a berimbolo guy?
Well, if I reincarnate, I'm gonna come back as a white belt again, you know? Maybe I remember a few techniques, who knows?
Yeah. What if you had to be reincarnated as an animal? Which one would you want to be?
As an animal?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the zodiac, I'm a lion. I would like to be a lion.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
It's
pretty high ranking.
noble, right? Respected, loyal.
Lots of naps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's a good one. One of the questions also that someone asked was if you could describe the differences between each of the belts. Like what is a white, or I guess we know what a white belt is, but like what's a blue belt, what's a purple belt, what's a brown belt, what's a black belt?
Okay, so how I said, in life, the experience make you have more knowledge, right? So, for example, if you planted the tree today, don't go tomorrow check on the window if the fruits are there. Because, some trees, like dates, take 90 years to give the fruits for you.
90?
90.
Oh my
Yes.
word.
Most of people's planted the dates, they don't eat from that tree, right? So only if you guy go overnight, right? And still live in the same location.
Yeah.
So anyway, the experience in life make you understand the things a little bit different, So, but for example, for the belts in jiu-jitsu, white belt is when the guy start to learn part of the basics, and learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable positions in jiu-jitsu. That's one thing. When the guy go to blue belt, in my opinion, the guy is a little bit more relaxed. He don't get the fork with food and eat like that, right? They just put the food on the mouth and eat, right? They started to relax, right? When he go to purple, he learn, he know how to be relaxed already, and he started to prepare the traps to get the opponent, right? So, and have good transitions, good stabilization, right? So you know how to go from side mount to near the belly to the mount and make this very natural without spending too much energy in the things, right? So purple belt starts to spend more wrong energy in the fight. They spend the energy in what they need, right? And to go to brown belt, it's just a matter of, because usually purple belts, brown belts, they are more or less the same level, right? So, but you need to do some, learn how to do less mistakes. Because many people fight waiting for your mistake. And when you're brown, you have to start take care about don't make mistakes when you fight. Very important. And to get a black belt, from brown, I think so your technical skills are not too different from the black belts, right? So, in my opinion, I remember have some guys when I started to train jiu-jitsu, like Sergio Iris, that in my opinion was the best student of Carlson. Vander, another big guy, was a police officer there, I used to train with Carlson too, and some other guys, brown belt. They could fight any black belt there already, you know. But the main thing that I think for the brown belt to go to black now is his mentality, you know. They needed to learn to be one example, because the lower belts always look to the higher belts, right? And if I want to have someone in my school with a black belt, I would like he be a good representative of what matters for the lower belts, right? The guy needed to spend the time with the guys don't know night to help them to teach, you know, give good advice to the guy, you know. So this very important, how he gonna treat the other people that belong to the family, right? Or even if they decide when get the black belt to open his own gym, I would like he follow what I teach for them that I learn with Carlson, right? So, and I would like to keep this alive. Even he's not here right now, tomorrow I don't gonna be here anymore either, right? So, and have someone to keep the legacy of what they learn with me. So,
Cool.
that's it.
Dang. So do you have any like long-term plan to retire, or is it just
No.
jiu-jitsu for life?
If you retire, you
done?
get rusty.
You get what?
Rusty,
Rusty.
right?
Yeah,
I don't want to get rusty.
of course.
Of course, when the age come, being some problems, health problems for you, you have a pain here, arthritis there, and other things, right? But I don't know. I think so. If you stop and stay at home, your problem is gonna even get worse.
Yeah,
you
it'll
know.
snowball.
So you do whatever is possible. Don't try to go beyond your limits. I tell this to everybody, even the guys here. If his condition, you can bring him here, don't try to go here because you're not ready. So be patient to improve it and go to the next level, right? So, but I don't know. I think so. I'm gonna try to take care of myself. To don't let my injuries that I got through the years, you know, affect me here to do my teaching, because teach make me happy.
Yeah.
And at my age, people understand that it's very important to do in life what to make you happy, you know. Of course, I care with other people involved with me, you know, my family, my students, everybody, right? But that's it. So I try to make everybody happy, but I have to be happy too.
You're pretty good at it.
To contagiate the students with the happiness, you know. No grumps around.
Grumpies?
Yes.
What about, have you ever had an injury that kept you from training? Or you just put needles and tubes and wraps and knee braces on and call it a day?
I cut my Achilles tendon.
Oh
I
yeah!
couldn't train. I hurt my knee very bad one time, you know. I had to do surgery. I couldn't train for a while, you know. But the other injuries, I don't know. I keep training. I never stop, you know. I know everybody have a little problem, you know, when they go training. But when I was young, and everybody are young, they recover fast of the problems you have. But cannot be too wimpy, have a little scratch here. Oh my God, I can't train for 3 weeks, come on.
What's the longest?
With a band-aid here, so some people like that, make huge dramas, right?
What's the longest you were out for, do you think?
Well,
The Achilles?
the Achilles tendon was bad because I stayed with the boot for a month. How you say
The
gesso?
cast?
Yeah,
What?
that the things you do like drywall. They
Oh, yeah.
call gesso in Portuguese. I don't know the name in
A
English.
cast. What we call
Cast,
it here.
yeah. But the material of the cast is gesso.
Okay.
And I remember was super itchy because it was in this summer in Brazil, 40 something degrees,
Nice.
and the sweat slide inside the boot and started to itch. I have to have that thing the ladies do, the
Oh, like knitting?
Knitting.
Yeah.
to scratch inside there, So very bad.
The time? We're almost, all right. Okay, what do you recommend for people who might have gotten injured and are to not get discouraged and keep wanting to come back
Well,
and train?
if you have an injury, you have to treat first of all, right? So, but the doctors are too extreme when they talk about the injury. Look like you became a handicapped person, you can do nothing in your life. You need someone maybe to help you to go to the washroom, but it's not true, You have to respect your limit, and treat your injury and come back, because you're gonna get well one day. How long gonna take depends how you're gonna treat, But it's harder to say, how long, but
But treat your injury and
Yeah.
make sure that you're okay.
And
before
you
coming
can
back.
come back to, this is the more important, you can come back to training and train careful. It's just to choose someone, don't go crazy, someone with more experience. And said, look, this move and this move, I don't feel confident to do, so let's go do something else, So at least you don't stop, unless it's something too hard,
Yeah, if you broke your back.
Yeah,
Stay home.
right. In the wheelchair,
Yeah.
you cannot come, right?
That'd be
But little injuries, you still can do the warm-up, some exercises, not maybe all of them, but
All right.
it's better than nothing. Something's better than nothing, right?
Totally. Yeah, and even just sometimes when you're injured, just showing up, just to even be present,
Yeah.
be around the team is helpful. What do we have? How do we wrap it up? What do you think? Do you have a question? No, usually when I do a podcast with someone that I do jiu-jitsu with, I get them to describe what it feels like to roll me, but we haven't rolled, so I don't know. Any last final words of encouragement or philosophies about life?
Well, I believe in jiu-jitsu. I would recommend jiu-jitsu to everybody. It's something you can do from, 3-4 years old until you die. Of course, the speed is gonna be different through the ages, right? And the more important, is the family spirit you have, especially in North America, that many people are alone. They don't have too many friends, and the jiu-jitsu family is something that help people to be happy because they have someone to talk, someone, to spend the time, People here do many messages, People need to talk.
Yeah.
Humans are social animals. They need to be with other people around, right? So you just need to choose well your companies, of course,
Yeah.
And I'm happy because in my gyms, we have a lot of very nice people, and I'm sure they can be good company to other people if they come join us.
True. All right. Well, thank you for being here for the Love of Life.
My pleasure,
All right.
and thank you for everybody gonna listen this amazing podcast of Latvia.
And do jujitsu.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.